know. When he came to the realization that Donald Trump was winning, I started to see him start acting a little strange. I mean, start making a little sense. And that's strange for him.
I mean, on a personal note, it's, seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life. But look, I mean, it's, and I think, look, it's, at some level as an American, it's like hard to not get kind of emotional about that spirit and that fight. And I think that's why a lot of people like the guy.
No, that's why you like the guy, you liked him before that. But what I don't like about you, Mark Zuckerberg, is the fact that you spent all of your time running this company with allowing the Democrats to control you, to coerce you, to basically somehow, I don't know if they blackmailed you to any degree, but they paid for your misinformation. They paid for your suppression of real information. They paid to get people blackballed off of the platform. They paid to limit people's reach and things of that nature. Honestly, bro, I don't know if we fooled, dog. Now, we're going to play a video later on about Mark Zuckerberg announcing his sweeping changes to Facebook and Instagram to move toward free speech, including ending third-party fact-checking and replacing it with community notes like X, and removing reduction of political content, lifting topic restrictions. He trying to copy Elon. This is exactly what it looked like trying to copy Elon. I mean, I remember seeing the Facebook movie, and it ain't far-fetched from how he kind of like took Facebook, right? Oh my God. Somebody said Mark Zuckerberg copying Elon Musk's answers is like a group project he didn't study for. Next up, Meta rockets launching into space. I know, right? Definitely he would want to take this position now that he know Donald Trump is getting back in that office, and that man is not holding anything back. He put people like Cash Patel in position. We got the Avengers for sure. But speaking of Cash Patel, he explains why Mark Zuckerberg is a fraud and shouldn't be trusted. And I'm going to go along with him on this one.
Zuckerberg is a fraud, pretending to care about American democracy and the election. This guy spent $400 million last election cycle, and I don't care what he says. He is going to spend money somehow, some way in this election cycle. And let's put that aside. He owns one of the largest social media companies on earth in Facebook, Meta, and Instagram. I didn't hear the CEO and owner, Mark Zuckerberg, come out and say, I guarantee you my companies will not participate in censorship at the behest of the FBI or anyone else in the federal government.
Now, mind you, I'm just letting him finish.
We did in the last two elections, like we did with Hunter Biden's laptop.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me rewind it. I didn't stop this complete thought.
Censorship at the behest of the FBI or anyone else in the federal government, like we did in the last two elections, like we did with Hunter Biden's laptop, like we did with the 51 Intel letter. He could have said that, but he didn't because he wants it to happen. And as a sort of proactive, preemptive move to say, oh, I told you so, he came out to the media and said, oh, my bad, I'm sorry. But it doesn't matter to these guys because they're going to go past November 5th. And if they get their way and Harris is awarded the victory, they're just going to be like, nothing to see here. And if Donald Trump wins, they'll come back and say, see, our companies tried to comply, but it's BS. And Zuckerberg is the biggest fraud in big business.
Now, I just want to make sure y'all know. I was trying to say in between that this clip was prior to Trump winning the election and stuff like that, but he kind of made that clear. Even though I don't trust Zuckerberg, I can't say that I want this to fail. I definitely want him to fall through with this on his word, even if I don't like him. You know what I mean? Hey, yeah, come on, pull that through. Because, I got some content on Facebook that kept getting took down. That's the reason why, I had to bag up. But for some reason, other people are able to use my content and garner thousands of views. And yeah, anyhow, for whatever reason, liberals are upset about this for obvious reasons, right? I said for whatever reason, but it's obvious. Free speech really has these people triggered.
Well, it looks like Mark Zuckerberg is again showing his allegiance and love for the one and only Donald Trump. He announced this morning that Meta would be removing their fact checkers from Facebook and Instagram and I guess Threads now. He stated he'd be using more of a community notes program, which is similar to what Elon Musk uses on Twitter. So it won't be very long before those social media sites turn into the right-wing cesspool that Twitter has now become.
No, what's going on is they're seeing that these right-wing cesspools are actually doing really well because people respond to the truth. And now that they're on the decline, the left people on the left wing side of things, they're trying to copy the tactics. Stop trying to sit here and make it sound anything other than that. Quit playing.
The right-wing cesspool that Twitter has now become. Meta is also going to be undoing and reducing the amount of platform policies they have around political content. Right now, it looks like it's limited from being put on your thread, but that will be removed as well. This sounds fun. This is what Zuckerberg said specifically about the changes that are coming. We're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with the community notes similar to X. I don't know about you, but I don't like Facebook, and I was starting to like Instagram a little bit more, but this is just giving me the ick. Why do people want to get rid of facts? This makes no sense to me. Anyways, have a good day.
Mark Zuckerberg, without a doubt, had a huge impact on the 2020 election. Now he's trying to get us to get back on his platforms. Some people are saying about damn time. Others are saying it's a little too late, bro. I ain't coming back. Now, remember, his censorship didn't happen years ago. It happened recently with censoring RFK Jr., who could have won the election with a fair shot. That's what they claim. Currently, I'm on the team. It's a little too late. Shout out to Anna Matson for that incredible caption with this video.
Mark Zuckerberg just released a video saying he's not going to censor people on his platforms anymore. In this video, he talks about how the use of his fact-checking system actually censors content that is true. Much more reliable way to do this is to actually have community notes like X has, where people who disagree with each other have to agree that something is false in order to add a note to it, instead of allowing an algorithm to decide.
Which, by the way, I'm going to play the entire video of him saying what he has to say. Of the video that she's referring to. I'm going to play the whole thing after this.
Also said that they were going to stop hiding political content. Keep in mind a couple things. Back in August, he admitted that the Biden administration coerced them to censor COVID-19 information and other information. So from there, what was his solution? Instead of not censoring information, he decided to make all political content hidden. Still currently have to go deep in your settings to change this function to be able to see political content. People are having like two different reactions to this news. Some people are saying, thank God, this is a win for free speech. And others are saying a little too late. Honestly, that's where my mind goes because his platforms very much influenced the 2020 election. Even recently, he hid all information about RFK Jr. RFK Jr. had a mini documentary that came out and the platform immediately took those posts down, and eventually they said, sorry, my bad, and you would be able to post it, but then no one would be able to see it. And even me, I created a website called Kennedy Debunk to debunk all the propaganda about him. And anytime someone tried to post the website, it was immediately removed. Did he really learn his lesson? Is this really with good intentions? Or is this just because Trump got in office and he's trying to play damage control? Let me know what side of the argument you are on. Are you like about damn time, or is it a little too late? Maybe we're somewhere in the middle. Let me know your thoughts. And let's see if he really follows through.
So, in other words, as George put it, President Trump says Mark Zuckerberg folded because he was scared of him. Let's go ahead and check out this clip real quick.
I think they've come a long way, Meta. Facebook. I think they've come a long way. I watched it. The man was very impressive. I watched it. Actually, I watched it on Fox. I'm not allowed to say that. Say it?
Do you think he's directly responding to the threats that you have made to him in the past? With
Probably. Yeah, probably.
The last time you were here, you were asked a question about the U.S.
Yes, sir. I don't know about y'all, but I think he's scared. I think he is scared. And now, we're going to watch the full-length clip of Mark Zuckerberg announcing the sweeping changes to Facebook and Instagram to move forward toward free speech.
Hey, everyone. I want to talk about something important today because it's time to get back to our roots around free expression on Facebook and Instagram. I started building social media to give people a voice. I gave a speech at Georgetown 5 years ago about the importance of protecting free expression, and I still believe this today. But a lot has happened over the last several years. There's been widespread debate about potential harms from online content. Governments and legacy media have pushed to censor more and more. A lot of this is clearly political, but there's also a lot of legitimately bad stuff out there. Drugs, terrorism, child exploitation. These are things that we take very seriously, and I want to make sure that we handle responsibly. So we built a lot of complex systems to moderate content. But the problem with complex systems is they make mistakes. Even if they accidentally censor just 1% of posts, that's millions of people. And we've reached a point where it's just too many mistakes and too much censorship. The recent elections also feel like a cultural tipping point towards once again prioritizing speech. So we're going to get back to our roots and focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our policies, and restoring free expression on our platforms. More specifically, here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to get rid of fact checkers and replace them with community notes similar to X, starting in the US. After Trump first got elected in 2016, the legacy media wrote nonstop about how misinformation was a threat to democracy. We tried in good faith to address those concerns without becoming the arbiters of truth. But the fact checkers have just been too politically biased and have destroyed more trust than they've created, especially in the US. So over the next couple of months, we're going to phase in a more comprehensive community notes system. Second, we're going to simplify our content policies and get rid of a bunch of restrictions on topics like immigration and gender that are just out of touch with mainstream discourse. What started as a movement to be more inclusive has increasingly been used to shut down opinions and shut out people with different ideas, and it's gone too far. So I want to make sure that people can share their beliefs and experiences on our platforms. Third, we're changing how we enforce our policies to reduce the mistakes that account for the vast majority of censorship on our platforms. We used to have filters that scanned for any policy violation. Now, we're going to focus those filters on tackling illegal and high-severity violations. And for lower severity violations, we're going to rely on someone reporting an issue before we take action. The problem is that the filters make mistakes, and they take down a lot of content that they shouldn't. So by dialing them back, we're going to dramatically reduce the amount of censorship on our platforms. We're also going to tune our content filters to require much higher confidence before taking down content. The reality is that this is a trade-off. It means we're going to catch less bad stuff, but we'll also reduce the number of innocent people's posts and accounts that we accidentally take down. Fourth, we're bringing back civic content. For a while, the community asked to see less politics because it was making people stressed. So we stopped recommending these posts. But it feels like we're in a new era now, and we're starting to get feedback that people want to see this content again. So we're going to start phasing this back into Facebook, Instagram, and Threads while working to keep the communities friendly and positive. Fifth, we're going to move our trust and safety and content moderation teams out of California, and our US-based content review is going to be based in Texas. As we work to promote free expression, I think that it will help us build trust to do this work in places where there is less concern about the bias of our teams. Finally, we're going to work with President Trump to push back on governments around the world that are going after American companies and pushing to censor more. The US has the strongest constitutional protections for free expression in the world. Europe has an ever-increasing number of laws institutionalizing censorship and making it difficult to build anything innovative there. Latin American countries have secret courts that can order companies to quietly take things down. China has censored our apps from even working in the country. The only way that we can push back on this global trend is with the support of the US government. And that's why it's been so difficult over the past 4 years when even the US government has pushed for censorship. By going after us and other American companies, it has emboldened other governments to go even further. But now we have the opportunity to restore free expression, and I am excited to take it. It'll take time to get this right, and these are complex systems. They're never going to be perfect. There's also a lot of illegal stuff that we still need to work very hard to remove. But the bottom line is that after years of having our content moderation work focus primarily on removing content, it is time to focus on reducing mistakes, simplifying our systems, and getting back to our roots about giving people voice. I'm looking forward to this next chapter. Stay good out there, and more to come soon.
I don't care what you say. I don't trust him. I believe him when I see it, number one. And he knows he's losing to Elon, and he's trying his best to adopt the practices as quickly as he can. And in addition to all of that, this man is terrified of Trump. I mean, terrified.